Wisconsin is full of history, but there is quite a bit that we still don't know. Organizations across the state are working to uncover centuries of history that are living in our water systems. News 19's Crystal Flintrop is diving deeper into Wisconsin's underwater archaeology and its importance.
La Crosse was once known as the Western Frontier.
You had to take a train to get as far west. La Crosse was the Western Frontier, right? And then if you wanted to go any further, you had to disembark the train and get onto a steamboat and continue further.
Because of this, the waterways surrounding La Crosse were quite busy in the 1800s. When the sidewheel steamboat, the War Eagle, carrying immigrants and freight docked in La Crosse, tragedy struck.
In 1870, it was at dock. A lantern caught on fire and it started on fire. All wood started burning. It caused a lot of damage. It caused about $250,000 worth of damage in 1870. Think about the immigrants, anybody traveling on the steamboat full of cargo. They lost all the possessions.
And there are plans to look in the waterways surrounding Prairie du Chien for old French fur trade goods.
There was a French fort there, and there's a bateau landing historically that some archaeologists think may have French fur trade goods and French military goods just off the bateau landing, because fishermen back in the 1930s and 40s and 50s used to bring up old artifacts in that area.
These archaeologists are discovering new historic sites every year. In fact, there have been 20 historic shipwrecks reported this year alone to the Wisconsin Historical Society, and the first to be investigated was the Margaret Muir.
It's really exciting. But when we found the Margaret Muir, there was almost a sense of disbelief. Until you find a wreck and actually, lay eyes on it, it's largely theoretical.
The ship encountered a storm when it came onto Lake Michigan and sank on the morning of September 30th.
About the time the decision was made to abandon ship, they had just barely gotten the lifeboats into the water, and it actually took the ship's mascot, the Newfoundland, with it to the bottom. The captain was quite distressed by the loss of the dog.
Because of the Great Lakes and their significance in trading commodity goods, Wisconsin was critical with their port cities. And now, centuries later, we're losing the tangible connection to our cultural history. And that's why there are efforts to protect these sites and share their stories.
We don't have the waterfronts. People forget that, we were once a major shipping state. We tell the story of our maritime history through the vehicle of these shipwrecks because they're fascinating. They're often extremely well preserved because of the cold, fresh water. They're literally, in some instances, time capsules.
Diving into Wisconsin's maritime archaeology, I'm Crystal Flintrop, News 19.
And many of these sites are accessible to the public through scuba diving, canoeing, or even virtual reality. Door County and Raleigh Point near Two Rivers, Wisconsin are recommended for seeing some of these shipwrecks with the naked eye. And just a note, it's illegal to take artifacts from these sites.